fishing on Guntersville again today in the middle of February, and it's right after 2 days of just flooding rains. The current is the highest I've ever seen it at 136,000 CFS. And the weather, just a cold front, the water's murky. It's pretty tough conditions, but usually current stacks them up, and if you find them, you'll find them in big groups and they'll bite. So we're gonna find out if we can catch any here. I got one group here by these bluff walls that looks like they might be in a good position to catch them. So my son John and I are gonna try that now and see what we can do. Oh, and water temperature is 44 degrees. Supposed to get 50 something today outside temperature, so it will probably go up a little bit, but we'll see if any crappie want to bite in these conditions or not. The night before we went fishing, we decided to try and tie up some really unique, bright colored hair jigs, and boy did they work. You'll see throughout the video, you'll get a glimpse of them, and you'll see how well they worked for us. Going on the hair jig. We actually started fishing around the bridge pilings, which is typically where all the crappie hang out, but found out that with all the current, they had moved, and so we started looking around and found them just stacked up behind the stumps, all around stumps. If you found them in current, they were obviously behind the stumps. If they were on little edges or sides of the creek channels, it was even better. They were all over the stumps. Yeah. Water was really murky. In fact, it was kind of muddy, really, and the bright colors, the pink, chartreuse, and orange of those custom hair jigs was really the key to getting the crappie's attention. And most of the fish we were catching were 10 to 13 inches. Later, we found them on top of a rock formation near a creek channel, and they were much bigger. Good one on the hair jig. Pink one this time.
Yeah. With chartreuse. Those hooks work pretty well.
They're not bad hooks.
Yeah.
Another one on the hair jig. Pink this time. The murkier water, it did really seem like you had to get the jig right in near the crappie's face or closer than you normally do to get their attention. But once you did, it really worked well. And a lot of times you had to hover it over their heads, and I think that subtle hair jig really made a difference in those cases. We'll see it here on the stump as we have just kind of hover it over.
Yeah.
Give it a little one, but still.
So that pink one's doing good.
Active target.
Let me see that one.
I don't know.
It's all good. So good it hooks closed. Yep. Perfect.
These crappie are definitely moving around. The major current and changes there had one effect on them, but they're also a pre-spawn and they're moving around from creek channels, deeper water into the flats and up on the wood wood cover that's around there a lot. You'll see on all these stumps they're just stacked up on.
Oh wow. Ooh, I almost got the phone. Wow, that's a nice one.
Just right in here, jig.
That pink one's getting the
Bright
big boys.
colors, man. Awesome. The spot we were on was really nice because it had 3 stumps and you could cast to the far stumps and sometimes pull a fish or 2 off of those. And if that didn't work, you could let it swing underneath the boat where we had it on top of a bigger, wider stump where you could see they're awful close to it and tight to the stump itself. And that's where we would have to hover it for a little while over top of them. It didn't seem to be as weary of the boat and everything with the murky water, so you could get away with a little bit more getting closer to them than I typically would like to do when fishing for crappie. So that was a nice thing, and I guess the bright color of the jigs is really what's getting their attention now. There's a surprise fish catch coming up here in a few minutes on one of the bigger stumps, and that was pretty exciting. And later on, if you want to see the big fish, they're in the second half of the video. They seem to come later in the day off a different spot. But please also remember to like and subscribe. The subscribe is really important. I'm almost at one of the first milestones, and I'd really like to achieve that.
Some of these are kind of beat up. Can you notice that? Look at your top. I think the top of them.
Yeah, someone tried to eat that one.
I've seen that twice now that they've got something on them.
Moon or something tried to take a chunk out of it.
Man, they love that pink one. That's good. Another nice one.
When you're fishing wood cover like this, these stumps, it's always important to try and get your bait as close to the stump as possible and to the fish and keep it above their heads, but not catch the stump, obviously. You don't want to be retying jigs all day, and that's where this active target is just phenomenal for doing that. You can see how we approach this, throwing it out there, getting it down to the level of the fish, dragging it up one side of the stump, sometimes hovering it over it if there's current, then letting it fall back down on the other side of the stump. A lot of the bigger fish seem to come at the top of the stump, or especially at the very base where the root ball is. It's pretty exciting, cool stuff.
Got it. Yep.
At this point, the fish were starting to get just a little more active, so we were having better luck just casting to the stumps.
I think when I cut my line, it
15, 20
flung
feet
around
away
in the wind, you know,
and let it kind of pendulum past the top of the stump, and we seem to pull a lot of them out from the side of the stump. And there's some really cool video of watching the fish chase it and then eat it. We got tons and tons of rejections as well, but that's just part of the game when you're fishing crappie.
We're gonna get another. Nice, man. 3 in a row.
The setup for these hair jigs is really no different than what I do for the soft plastics. You rig the jig up on a loop knot, and then about 18 inches above that you put your weight. In some cases you'll see in this video my son John was using a double jig setup, which is good to attract a lot of fish, but if you ever get hung up then you end up tying 2 jigs back on, and it's a little bit frustrating at times, but he did pretty well with that. He did catch several during the day on his top jig.
That's a good one. Nice one. Oh, so nice that I didn't get hit on the second one.
At this point the fish were getting pretty active, so they were chasing a little better and eating a little better, so we were having a really good time. In a few minutes we'll move on from this spot and start looking around because things went the other way, and thankfully we searched around long enough to find the best spot of the day, which is still coming in the video, and it has a lot of good big fish in it.
Oh, that's a big guy.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe if you can. It really is going to help me out. I appreciate it.
It's a crappie.
Oh, dude.
You measure this one. Oh, wow.
Yes. Measure and write that one.
Yeah, nice. He looked like two fish. He was so good on there. Nice. Maybe 14 and a half. I'm guessing. He's got shoulders too.
Yeah, we definitely got shoulders. Yep, just over 14. That's a good fish right there. Pretty.
Oh, it is?
This was the surprise fish catch of the day. Look at the shape on the video on the forward part of the stump and see if you can figure out what it is before I catch it.
You have one hook. I have 2 on my time. Oh, I'm going for it. Oh, does he not have it? Yeah, I was going to say, he has to have it, dude.
Is it a net or not?
Yeah, it looks like it's
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Now we know why that was so big.
On your hair jig, dude? Yeah, look at that. There you go.
That's on the hair jig. Bass like the hair jig too. Fatty. After lunch, we did a lot of searching around looking for new spots, and we found this rock pile or flat rock with rocks and a ledge on the side of it that turned out to be the best spot of the day. It was awesome.
Got him.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a decent killing one.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I got stuck, dude. I thought I got stuck. I tried to reel once and it was like, it was heavy. And I was like, oh no.
We're definitely using this rock formation as a transition point. We caught them on the top, over top, on the sides. There's a sheer side to it. You can see with the dark edges. And they just really stacked up on this as the day moved on.
You need the Neticus for this? It's a big one. Yeah, I was gonna say he looked pretty awesome. You want him on this side or this side? That's a nice one, dude. Oh man. That is a nice one. First off, look at the
Choke that.
yeah, that is a big one. How big is that? Let's measure that guy. 14? Yeah. Look at his mouth though, dude. It's like a bass mouth.
And fat.
Oh man, he's fat. That's a good one. I'm curious to see what
He's even out here. It's a Saturday. This is crazy.
Yeah, that's.
That big one. One of the best active target hits of the day, too.
Ooh, almost.
He's at least 14 and a half.
Yeah. Very nice.
That's cool.
Good one.
Yeah.
While I was really fishing with mostly the active target by sight, my son was getting really good at just fishing by feel and fishing the edges here and catching a lot of fish. This next section of video is my favorite. Several of the fish here, just if you could drop it on their head and raise it in front of their face, they ate it every time.
Talk about a perfect. You need the neck, but don't do what I did. Oh, where is he down there? Look at that. Marlin over here? Yeah, you do.
Ooh, that might be 50 right there.
I love the way that one hit too. You knew he was gonna hit. You got straight down to him, and he just slammed it. Look at his mouth too. That's a nice one. The hair jigs are working really well. Man, that's crazy. It's a big one.
Yeah, baby. That is a crappie right there. Let's measure him. 15.
Yeah, it's the big boy.
That's what we wanted. Nice. Awesome.
Right in the stump, maybe. Oh no, he's gonna.
Oh, that's good. We already nosed up at it.
Oh, I got it. Eat it, buddy.
Got him, yes. The success with these hair jigs and these bright colors was just phenomenal. I was quite surprised. They were small, they were 1/32 ounce jigs, but boy did they work. I'm looking forward to continuing to experiment with these over the next few weeks. This was one of my favorite spots to fish ever. I think it's just so cool that while there weren't hundreds of crappie stacked up on it, they were always moving in and out of it, and you could find them, cast to them, and get them to react to your bait. It was just so fun.
Nice. Net? Yeah, because don't do what I did, so. Oh. Left or right? Oh. So this is the method to catching big boys, apparently.
That's how they do it on all the YouTube videos if you watch it all the time.
Here you go. It's open on the middle if you want to come through this way. Here, hand me the net. There you go. Wow. Pink one's working great, dude. Big one, too.
We didn't show all the fish catches, mainly just the ones that were really good on active target or the bigger fish, but this little rock right here where there's an edge that drops off, the fish didn't take it right there on that cast, but we must have caught 15 to 20 fish right on the edge of that rock. They just really cruised back and forth on that transition point or that edge. It was a lot of fun. Those are things that you have to look for and pick apart as you scan across them with your active target and try and figure out where the fish are holding and where they want to bite.
Got him. Nice job. I thought it out. Oh, it's a good last one. And there's one coming up too. Oh, he's
He's not 20 inches.
One tip is to remember to adjust your weight to whatever you need to get it in front of the fish and get them to react. We had to change weight a couple of times, whether you were fishing in current. Sometimes you really have to add a lot of weight to get it down in the strong current like we had this day. At this particular spot, it wasn't as much of a factor because we were out of the current.
Oh, he called it. Oh, that's gotta be Can you turn off the thing so we can see that one? This one? The end the recording right there so I can just...
Another interesting thing about these crappie with these muddy water and brighter jigs is I didn't do a lot in the hair jig. I think I just didn't do a lot of shaking of the rod tip like I do with soft plastics. I think that the subtle tail was what got them and the bright colors to really hone in on it and strike.
He did, yeah, that was a guess. Yeah, as soon as you do it,
What a great day fishing with my son. Doesn't get much better than that. The fishing was awesome. active target footage is good. This one here kind of gets screwed up by Siri towards the end, but my son did catch a really nice one. You're not just dangling it right in the fish's face till he got interested and made his mistake. Please remember to like this video, and if you want to see more, especially subscribe. It'll really help me out. I'm getting close to one of the major numbers that I need to achieve on YouTube, so I appreciate it.
On the top of it.
That makes it all worth it.
This camera's still going too.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big guy. Look at that guy.
That's a, you want to measure him?
Yeah, we will measure this.
14. You just got to be really close if it's not.
Bumping into everything.
Oh, he's tiny, man. He's just gigantically
13
fat,
and a
dude.
half. It's not, he's 13 3/4. He's almost 14.
Fat, yes.
Really healthy.
I couldn't even turn on the camera, man. Ooh, he's fat too.
Come on there.
I-
And we haven't had to read.
That's what I was just gonna say.
On all day. I mean, it's like this.
What is that? Number 45. So we have
Did you add
45
one?
and we haven't even lost a lure.
Did you add that one?
Yes, sir.